Hey guys, my name is Meow, and today we learned that Rainbow Six Siege might eventually become free-to-play. In a recent interview with PC Gamer, the game director of Siege basically came out and said that he and a lot of the development team want the game to eventually become free. And honestly, it's not all that surprising. You may have noticed that Ubisoft has been slowly adding all different forms of monetization to this game, where now looking from the outside in, it looks like every other free-to-play game out there. You have the Season Pass, there is the Battle Pass, the paid Alpha Pack system. You have the myriad of different operators now to purchase, which takes an incredible amount of time to grind, much like every other hero game out there. And then finally, if all that wasn't enough, you just have the basic monetization to buy cosmetic items. And so honestly, it makes sense that he and a lot of the development team would like to go down that path, because essentially that's where Siege is at that point. Now, if you're worried that all of a sudden that this is going to happen tomorrow, you don't need to be concerned. He said that not only is this going to have to be a decision from the company itself, Ubisoft, it's not his decision to make, but on top of that, they would need to put a lot more systems in place to ensure that this would not become a problem. I'm sure as soon as you guys heard the idea that this game could become free to play, you automatically got concerned with a bunch of issues like cheaters and really Smurfs. And this is something that he addressed in the interview. Now, I'm sure many of you guys know what smurfing is, but if you're not aware, it's essentially where people that have been with the game for a really long time buy a new account, or in this case, just create a new one because there's no entry fee, and they do so that they go against new players and just destroy every single match that they're in. This isn't really all that enjoyable for people that want to get involved for the very first time, and really that's one of the reasons why you would go free to play, is to get more people involved with Rainbow Six Siege. And so before they ever go down this path, this is an issue that they would absolutely need to tackle beforehand. He gave an example of one way that they would go about it. If you are someone that is clearly smurfing, you have like a 4 KD, you're destroying, but your win-loss ratio is like 0.2, you just kept losing game after game on purpose so that you would get down into like your bronze and copper league, the game will recognize, hey, if your win-loss ratio is that low, you probably shouldn't have a KD that's like 6. That's completely unreasonable. We're gonna bump up your hidden MMR so that you're on par with where we think that you're going to be. And so even though you might be in copper and bronze, the system is going to recognize that you are a smurf and then bump up your MMR to like gold, so now they're going against gold players. So yes, for those first couple of games, you're gonna be able to destroy these newer players, but then after that, hopefully quickly, it'll recognize and understand that you are a smurf and then bump you up to the appropriate level until it finds that equilibrium where you're supposed to be at. And if they're able to accomplish that, that might be a great solution. Another issue with going free to play though, and hopefully many of you guys thought of this as soon as I mentioned it, is what are they gonna do about the cheating problem? Rainbow Six Siege has a halfway decent track record when it comes to stopping cheating. There is, of course, BattlEye. They have the 2-step authentication, so you have to link a phone number with your account. So if you are caught cheating, that phone number is no longer gonna work if you wanna play in ranked. So there are a few countermeasures, but as soon as you open up the floodgates and have everything be free, where anyone can make an account whenever they want, that could cause some problems, not just in the ranked situation, but also just for people that are trying to play casual. Like if there's no repercussions whatsoever, it doesn't matter that they're playing ranked or casual. If casual is now ruined because it's just filled with people that can get away with it and make another account whenever they want, that's going to be incredibly frustrating. And so will they be taking more measures? Will they be going down the hardware ban, where if you get caught, the system will recognize what PC parts that you're using, and so if you make another account, it's not gonna matter? That's one way they could go about it, but I will fully admit I'm not well versed in this topic, and so I don't know how feasible that is in the long run. Now, that doesn't mean that going free to play is just gonna come with issues, because it also has a lot of positive benefits. If we look at it in a more positive light, this is gonna open up the game to a much larger audience. Not everyone wants to take the plunge, even though the game is really cheap right now. I think it's like $20 just for the standard edition, and it's constantly going on sale. Even then, this will make it even more accessible. And so having a larger player base is going to even benefit people that have been playing since the very beginning. Queue times ratings will drop dramatically. You'll have a better matchmaking system in general because there's more people that are queuing that are going to be around your same skill level. If you have a ton of players to choose from, you're going to be able to find those gold ones, and everyone's going to be gold ones instead of having to expand the search just so that you're not in matchmaking for 5+ minutes. These are all positive things that having a system like this would provide, even though it does come with some problems. And so all in all, I'm really curious to see what Ubisoft decides on. One part of me hopes that this never happens because while I realize that it is only a small barrier, having that little bit of an entry fee is a bit of a deterrent for those people that want to cheat or who are smurfing to not actually participate in those kind of activities. On the other side though, I fully realize that the entry fee is so incredibly low, it is hardly a deterrent, and so opening it up to a larger player base, as long as the systems are in place to stop these kinds of things from happening, may not be the worst thing ever. In general though, it is worth mentioning once again that nothing is set in stone here. This is just the opinion of the game director and apparently a lot of the development team, and it's gonna have to be a decision on the part of Ubisoft as a company to decide on what direction that they want to go. But the fact that the game director himself is leaning this direction, I would not be surprised whatsoever if eventually Siege did go free to play. Let me know what you guys think on this topic though. Rainbow Six Siege is a very intimidating game. I know there's many people out there, I've talked to them, that haven't picked it up because they don't know if it's going to be a game that they would enjoy, and so maybe going free to play could get those people involved for the very first time. But on the other hand though, I know there's many people out there that are probably very worried by this announcement, and so give me your guys' reasons why or why not you think that this should happen to the game. But yeah guys, that is what it for today's short little update video. This is something that I was not expecting to learn just the other day, and so I thought it'd be a fun topic to talk about. But yeah guys, until next time, have a good one and take it easy.